Hey guys, my name's Evrelia, and today I would like to talk to you a little bit about what's changed with regards to Affliction Warlocks for patch 5.4 and what you need to know to play the spec. Now, I will be doing a full video guide for this spec and for all the other Warlock specs over the next few weeks, but the information here should at least give you enough information to get started, and I will do my best to keep you updated about any changes or revelations in theory. First of all our dots and haunt damage have been buffed, and our Malefic Grasp and Drain Soul damage has been nerfed. This actually amounts to quite a significant buff overall and quite a strong buff on multiple targets as well, but you will need to use your soul shards on Haunt more often to take advantage of the buffs, and using Haunt paired with strong dots will be even more important. Grimoire of Sacrifice has been nerfed even more, so you'll probably stay using Grimoire of Supremacy. RPPM trinkets have been nerfed to no longer scale from your haste. This combined with the increase in dot damage means that haste is a lot less valuable in general than it was in previous patches. It's still a good stat, but mastery is going to end up being better, and you'll probably want to go for around 9, 7, 7, 8 haste, and from then on start stacking mastery. There are two main changes to multi-dotting. First, Corruption now has a 10% chance to generate soul shards, up from 5%, but only on the most recently applied Corruption, so you'll have a lot less shard regeneration on multiple targets overall. This means you're not going to be able to just spam Soulburn and Soul Swap like you used to. Now, secondly, Soul Swap without Soulburn has been changed. It now copies your dots from one target to the other like the glyph used to. The dots are going to stay on the original target, and the copy dots will have the same duration and the same strength. So for multiple target fights, what you're probably going to want to do is dot one target by using Soulburn and Soul Swap, and then again on the same target to update those dots with trinket procs and fully extend them. And then after that, what you're going to want to do is Soul Swap Inhale and exhale those dots onto all the other targets, which is actually pretty nice. For talents, Harvest Life now buffs the damage and healing of Drain Life. Now, especially when paired with Soulburn, this does a ton of healing. I'm talking like 50,000 a second, so it's a very, very viable defensive talent. Other than that, Howl of Terror is baseline, and we've got Demonic Breath instead, which is a useful slow for you when you don't have Curse of Exhaustion, which can be useful on a variety of different boss encounters. Soul Link now causes our pet to take 20% of all damage we take rather than sharing all damage, and we heal ourselves and our pet by 3% of damage dealt. Our tier 6 talents are all changed. Kil'jaenin's Cunning allows us to cast Malefic Grasp whilst moving and nothing else, but it doesn't snare us anymore. Archimonde's Vengeance lets us have 2 charges of Dark Soul. Now this only amounts to 1 extra Dark Soul per fight, but it does mean we can sync all of our Dark Souls with trinket buffs every time, so it's a pretty significant gain in that regard. And Manaros Fury now gives us a 100% damage increase on Seed of Corruption and a 500% area increase, but this only lasts for 10 seconds with a 60-second cooldown. This is pretty nice for AoE fights, but Affliction still isn't the best at AoE. Usually you'll have to choose between KJC or Archimonde. Try to take Archimonde on fights where you can minimise your movement because it is really strong. For glyphs, there are 2 we're interested in. The first is Glyph of Eternal Resolve, which removes your Unending Resolve ability, but it gives you a 10% passive damage reduction, which is nice because they've actually removed our innate 10% passive damage reduction. Glyph of Curse of Elements causes your Curse of Elements to hit 2 additional targets, which means it's very nice for multiple targets so you can get Curse of Elements up with fewer global cooldowns. For your trinkets next tier, you're going to want to grab Cardress's Toxic Totem and Black Blood of Yasaj as soon as possible. The Immersia's Bindings trinket is technically best in slot, but because it's based on stat scaling, it won't be best until you have close to full heroic gear when you have more stats to scale up. If you're unsure what Throne of Thunder trinkets to use before you get the new trinkets, use the highest eye level trinkets you have. If they're all the same eye level, use Breath and Wushalades for the most consistent DPS. You can use Breath and UVLS and you may get better results, but you will be subject to a lot more RNG and variance if you do, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. That should be enough information to get you ready for the patch either way. I will be doing a full class guide as I said, which will be available on warcraftacademy.com, and if you are planning on raiding in the patch, I do have general boss guides already available on my website, so make sure to check it out. If this video was helpful or if you liked it, remember to subscribe and rate and comment and just let me know your feedback. Thank you for watching and talk to you guys soon.